Hebrew, the language of the Hebrews, also known as the Israelites and the Jews. The vast majority of the time we read the scriptures without thinking about the original languages. The problem with that is that we can lose the original meanings of the terms. Deep concepts and descriptive images are often lost in translation into Spanish or other languages. In Spanish we read the word holy in Isaiah 6 very quickly and without thinking so much. However, the Hebrew term is packed with meaning. The Jews did not lose the concept because they understood the history and roots of the word. See the meaning in Hebrew. 1. Holy in Hebrew literally means inaccessible. When the seraphim proclaimed, "Holy, holy, holy," they were telling Isaiah that he did not have access to the throne of God, that he did not have permission to approach him who sat on the throne. The seraphim covered their faces is 6. 2 so that they would not fix their eyes on the Lord of hosts. Isaiah was filled with fear because his eyes had seen the King, the Lord Almighty. 6. 5. The holiness of God is so pure that no one can resist it. Therefore, the term literally means inaccessible. 2. Furthermore, holy expresses the state of total separation from common, profane or sensual things. In the physical and also spiritual sense, God is perfect, flawless and incapable of sin or evil. Do you remember the passage I read last Sunday? James said that God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. James 1:13. This concept is difficult to understand because we have never lived a minute outside the presence of sin. Our nature is sinful. That is, our tendency is to sin instead of doing good. We will delve more into this topic next week when we begin the next series of talks. D. The root of the term. 1. The root of the term holy comes from Assyrian, the language of the kingdom of Assyria. Interestingly, it means bright, radiant, illuminated, luminous, with lots of light. 2. The holiness of God is so pure that it shines radiantly like a fire. In Exodus 15:11, which we just read, Moses asks, "Who is like you, magnificent in holiness?" The picture here is that God is wrapped up with his 233 holiness about him. All of the attributes of God that we have considered in this series of talks are wrapped up in the holiness of God. His existence, how good he is, his omniscience, his omnipresence, his sovereignty, how trustworthy he is, are wrapped up with this attribute of holiness. The Lord is engulfed in the flames of his own holiness, yet he is not consumed. His very being burns intensely with a most holy fire. 3. Therefore, several times in the Old Testament God manifested himself in fire. Moses experienced that fire often in his life. The first time happened when he was tending his father-in-law's flock in the desert. Listen to what happened that day. The burning bush. Moses led the sheep to the other end of the desert and arrived at Horeb, the mountain of God. It is also known as Mount Sinai. 2. While there, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in the